Let's test it because I still have anxiety. Actually, I have a reason to have anxiety. I'm late because when I just opened my laptop, um, it had to it was shut down or something weird. It like rebooted itself, and I never do that on this. And then when it optimized and opened everything, it said optimizing your microphone. So did it optimize? Is it lying to me? Can you guys hear me fine? We have to do this every time. We get through it and then we just move forward. Hey, Hannah needs to yell. Hey, love it. Hey, Curious Cat. I love Curious Cat. Are we hearing me okay? Everybody's saying hi. Okay, Hannah says yes. Okay, so everything seems fine to you guys? Seems like on the up and up? Seems legitimate? Let me plug my phone in while we're here. I don't have that long. We're going to chat for about an hour, and then I got to go get Huxley from football practice. And I have to run to Costco. And then guess what? Guess what? I don't know for sure. I really don't want to get you guys excited. But I talked to Aaron today while I was browsing at Target after therapy, and he wants to do a live tonight. I said, with me? Do you even know who I am? Just kidding. But he wants to do a live this evening, guys. So, Jeff, I'm so glad you're here. I love Jeff. Thank you for telling me I look beautiful this afternoon. I washed my hair. I know, old man at Costco. Jeff's going to be with me this time, though, so I'll have to sneak away from him to go over to the avocados and see if that old guy is still there waiting on me. Yes, Amy Jones, you and Aaron back together. Let's hope so. Oh, who's this? Gremily. When anyone says, guess what? I must say chicken, but it's the rules. I remember that from the 80s. Joni, thank you. I did this to the hair like not that long ago. And look, guys, this is why I don't know what I'm doing. Look at this. It just hangs out there. What do you do with this? Like what? Oh, look at that. Mom's calling. Let me just tell her we're up. Let's just tell her we're live. Hey, Mom. I'm on a live right now. Can I call you back? Oh, good. Okay, well, I'll call you back and I'll tell everyone that you said hello because there's 118 people in here and I just started a minute ago. I'll call you back. Bye. Cute little thing. She gets nervous. But what do we do with this? Where does it go? What do you do with it? It's short. And I honestly I feel like I have some anxiety. So let's talk about some things. There's some things I want to discuss, but it's not like heavy today like it has been. Well, look who's in the chat. Jeffrey, you're supposed to be at work. Your boss is going to say something to you. Jeff is the boss. Hi, honey bun. That's cute that you're in here. And look, honey, our other Jeff is in here. We love our other Jeff too. I did try hairspraying it, Robin, but it does what it wants. Shit. It's like, it's acting like a Scientologist. So, yes, Aaron, I think is live right now. I saw that right as I was jumping on. And, I'm going to have less anxiety about that because SBTV is growing. It's only going to grow more. So I just kind of feel like we're just all going to do our thing. And I really do feel this way because Jeff was flipping through the news this weekend and I hate the news. I don't watch it, but I saw on there, Martha Raddatz, I think is her name. I saw him flip through, who's the guy that shakes and he gets real angry? Mark Levin. Everybody watches a different person. Like everybody watches, what's that Sunday morning? I used to hate that guy. Meet the Press dude. He's not there anymore. I guess he's been replaced with somebody else. But I'm just saying, everybody watches who they like. And so we must move forward is what I'm trying to say. Angie P, guys, I have a butterscotch in my mouth because I put that on my wish list and somebody bought them and sent them to me like yesterday and I can't stop. So whoever, thank you. I can't think of who it was, but thank you. Hey, Reese, that blue is a great color on you and your hair is on point. Well, thanks, Angie. Thanks for the super chat. This shirt is like a snap button chambray, but it's thick. First of all, it's freezing in my basement. We got our air conditioner fixed today. There was something wrong with it, and now our house is freezing. But this shirt is my motorcycle shirt. Whenever Jeff rides the bike and I ride on back with him, I always wear this. And then sometimes I'll do like a little neck scarf or I'll like braid both sides of my hair. So it's my motorcycle shirt, and I never wear it otherwise, but I was freezing. So let's see. Yeah, Curious Cat. I love Curious Cat. Great perspective. I'm glad you're getting comfortable popping on when other people are on too. Yeah, I know you catch. You're always on my lives. You're a huge supporter, babe. Thank you. Oh, what's Jeff Quabell saying? I watch them all. Creates balance. You're talking about the news, babe? He does. I kind of like that about Jeff. I don't like the news. I don't give a holy hell about the news. But whichever side of the fence Jeff is on, and we're not going to get political in here, he watches the other side too. Jeff watches all different kinds of news from all different sources. And I would never waste time doing that myself, but I like that he does like to watch it from all sides. Moonage Daydream. What you offer is completely different to anyone else on SBTV. You have no competition. Well, thank you, Steph. I think that is so sweet of you to say. Joni, where'd you go? It's freezing in my house. I came home from Target and therapy and I was like, what happened? We got to get a new air conditioner last summer. It sucked. It was very expensive. We had to get a new furnace and air conditioner. And it like broke the other day. Now it's not that hot out, so it's fine. I wasn't dying, but like the dude came and fixed it. It was all under warranty, which is awesome. But now it's freezing in this house. Jeff, it's cold in here. You need to fix that. Yeah, I don't watch the news, Stephanie Lind. So let's see, Lori. Question, are you going to be live on your channel also for Andrew Gold interview? I think so. I assume I am, guys. I'll be on an interview with Andrew Gold this Wednesday at 2:00 my time. Was Bo in the picture? What is he doing? I just fed him his lunchies. I hope so. I'll have to ask him. I need to get with him to find that out, but I plan to. Yeah, I plan to be live on my channel too. Let's see. What's this, Barb? You do know that behind Aaron and Mark and Claire, Mike and Leah is you. That is pretty good for a roster. I don't know what you mean by that. Of 75 shows? I mean, there's way more people than me. There's Apostate Alex. There's Liz Gale. I mean, I don't watch them all, so I know there's a lot. But Barb, thank you for that. Oh my God, Kim, I love you. You were outside feeding your squirrels. Jeff, you fix the AC. Will take an hour or so to be noticeable. It's freezing in our bedroom, babe. I had to turn the ceiling fan off for the first time in the 3 years we've ever lived here. I keep that thing on all the time. I had to turn it off today. It is off as we speak. That's saying a lot, Jeffrey. Robin, thank you I'm glad. It's so sweet of you to say you are my favorite. Keela, I'm up at the top. That's amazing. Joni, it is amazing. Lori, she was listing her favorites. That makes sense. I love Barb. Hey, Judy, welcome. Judy Kaufman, first time to catch a live. Wow, gal. Oh, there is Bo. He is in here. What are you doing, Bobo? Are you just thinking about your life choices? Are you thinking about acting right in life? Look at how cute he is, you guys. Come here. Your Bobo. He's so cute. Let's tilt it down. Oh, he's so cute. Look at his face. Look at that. We have the same hair today, Bo. We both have curly poodle hairs. I call it pood hairs. He's got little pood hairs. Oh, hey, jealousy. Uh-oh, we're stuck. We're stuck in a cord. Okay. We're trying to do a live here, guys. Oh, somebody got jelly. Somebody also got their hairbrush today, and we had a discussion about it. And I said, maybe you could have your fall bath because it is the fall and we haven't had a bath since probably last winter. And every time I ask her about it, she says, I'd love to, but my schedule is full. I'm totally booked for the whole season. And I say, well, then maybe we could brush your hairs so that you don't look like a frosted mini wheat with eyes. And she says, well, I'll settle for a quick brushing, but I don't have all the time in the world because my schedule's booked. So, but I don't have that kind of time for a bath. I know. We know that you say that. We know it. And she says, also, because I was born in a manger next to Christ, I can do what I want. Is that accurate? And then, so what did we do? We brushed your hairs, but you still look like a frosted mini wheat. And you're a little stinky, but we're going to settle for that because she doesn't want to take a fall bath. And what is happening with your eyelashes? Okay. Are you upset about something? Is there anything you want to share with the group? So anyway, I will tell her, guys, love it. It says she loves you so much. It's a lot of nonsense though. There's a lot of sass, and I think we sometimes put ourselves on a pedestal a little bit because we were born next to Christ, because she's in the Bible and is talked about a lot at Sunday school. I think she put, there's a bit of a feather in the cap, if you will. Do you agree with that? Did you know that you were little? Did you know that you're tiny? Oh. Well, all right. Again? You're awfully small. I wish I could take you with me to therapy. So yeah, a little bit of an ego, Harry Potter's beard. Little bit of an ego going on there. Lori says, it warms my heart every time I see you with Gertie, knowing the life she must have had before versus the life she has now. Well, that is so true because Gertie was tossed out of a car, and you guys know that. She had broken ribs, her feet were broken, and I actually couldn't rescue her because we had to wait for everything to heal. But we know her real birth story was being born next to Christ and Mary and the three guys with the gold coins in their pockets. So, but yeah, what do you think? Did you know that you were this tiny? What can you tell us about JC when he was little? What can you tell us about little JC? I got lipstick on your hairs. You're awfully upset about things. I know that you get very sensitive. Yeah, glad she's with us now too, guys. So let's get into the thick of it, because I actually can't stay today for as long, but I will jump back on tonight with Aaron if he'll have me. He said he wants to, but we know Aaron. He's full of videos. He's prolific. I don't know. So I want to talk about, I had therapy this morning. I got up and went to therapy, and then I went to Target. And to me, that's ideal. That's a day in the life of perfection. So I want to talk about a little bit, Aaron, ADHD, Lori, 100%. I was at Target looking at underwear and trying to listen to him. And he was like, I don't know. I'd like to do something tonight. He was like, I really want to do a live, but I don't know. We'll have to see because I have this thing scheduled. He was like, I have like 100 lives I need to make in my head. He was like, I got all these videos I need to make in my head. I was like, I am just looking at undies. I got some cute ones too. Some like really lacy ones. Not that Jeff cares. He doesn't care about undies. He just likes you to be naked. I know. We know that you get upset. We know that you get hurt feelings about your brother, and I know you don't like him. So I want to talk about a little bit we touched on this morning in therapy. And honestly, we didn't close it. We didn't get the full closure on this. So I want to talk to you guys about it because I can't talk to him about it till next week. So what do you guys think? We talked a lot. Oh, my new outro with Fred, honey. Okay, I'll try to use that today. Thank you. We talked a lot about boundaries. Now, I added the confidence part to my video, the title, because I put this together in my own head in therapy this morning. You have to have confidence in order to set boundaries. Now, I figured that out. Now, I know you guys know that. I know everybody in the world knows that except me because I'm just coming out of Scientology. But I'm trying to understand. I had a little bit, I'm not going to get into names, nothing to do with my family, nothing to do with Jeff. I had a little bit of an altercation, I guess, but I've had more than one. Nothing terrible. It wasn't like a screaming match, but a little bit of an argument with someone recently. And then I had another one with someone like 2 months ago, and I actually still have my attention on it. Oh, Gertie's still alive, you guys. I know you like to check. Yeah, Susan, boundaries are hard to set. Are great to set, but hard to follow through with. She did hit the snooze button. I want to discuss this with you guys because if I have something that happened that's still on my mind, that means it's unsettled for me. The other thing I've always gone off of in my own mind is if something doesn't feel right, and I'm not talking about dangerous, I mean like a conversation with someone. If it doesn't feel like it's going well or it feels right, then it probably isn't. And so, what is Daria saying? Because I love Daria too. You're doing live vlogging, Reese. Other creatives vlog all over YouTube, but they edit to filter the message. You're innovating with love, vlogging, and being 100% authentic. Interesting. That's a good point. That's a good point, Daria. I don't edit videos. You guys know this. I just go live. So we say what we feel here, to your point. But good Lord, girl, you're awfully tiny. Did you know that? Did you know you were this little? Oh, you're such a distraction for everybody, including your mother. Good Lord. Oh, I love it so much. Look at the face, you guys. Look at it. Right next to the Lord. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say, no, she doesn't snore. The cat snores, but she doesn't. I'm trying to say that Goldie, she's alive. That I feel it's hard to keep your guys' attention with this, isn't it? I don't want to put her down though. Yes, Sarah, we talked about that too. The most challenging is when you clearly set boundaries and the other person refuses to respect them. It's tough because I learned something this morning. I had a little bit of just a tiny, disagreement with someone. And my therapist and I talked about it, and he was saying how I tend to apologize. He said, "You apologized too much there." He said, "I get tired of people apologizing so much when they don't need to. And you're kind of opening a door for the other person to take advantage of you when you do that. But it depends on the situation. It's case by case." I know, Lori, you don't have to pay attention. This child is much more important, especially because God wants you to. That's where she came from. I feel like in this particular situation, he said you tend to concede or placate in a way. Like I do tend to do this to diffuse an argument. If Jeff and I are arguing, if I'm arguing with someone else, or if I'm not even arguing, but it's just a little bit of a back and forth, I will tend to go, okay, yeah, you're right. That's fine. And not in a shitty way, not the way where it's like, yeah, you're right. Okay. No. I just do it to stop and diffuse. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, I don't think, but it's not ever solving the problem. And I didn't fix the situation I had the other day with this person because I just went to apologize, even though didn't feel like I should. I was like, listen, I'm really sorry. What do you guys think about that? And going forward, here's my thing. So I made that mistake and that's okay. But I always am thinking in my mind, how can I go forward and not do that again? How can I learn from that? Stephanie, if I have a conversation and it's bothering me afterwards, I ruminate with it. I over apologize all the time. Okay, so that's what I mean. I like this channel because I feel like we also try to make strides in how can we learn from it and possibly go a different path. And also, guys, I'm new to this. How do you even set boundaries without there's soft ways of doing it. And then there's some people who do it too harshly. I feel like you don't need to set boundaries harshly, but how do you even set boundaries? And then once somebody crosses a boundary, how do you address it? The other thing I was talking about in therapy, because it has to do with this, my least favorite thing in life with other people, and maybe this is why, no, it's not why I don't have any friends. That's not true. I don't have any friends because I don't really know how to have friends. I've never had any. Um, I cannot stand, I cannot stand passive aggressive. I cannot stand people. Hey, Nat B from Canada. Oh, hey, Raymond. Love you, Raymond. Um, you're still setting boundaries, Joni. Um, yeah, Canood, you can always say we agree to disagree. I do that too. Colleen B, I usually say, I'm sorry we disagree. It lets me feel like I'm diffusing, but without conceding ground or changing my boundary. But you guys know I like to get into it. Like I like to, yeah, Nikki B, I love it. You guys are on the same page and I'm not surprised. I hate passive aggressive. I hate it. I can't be around people who are passive aggressive. And honestly, that's what brings out the anger in me the most. Yeah. When people are passive aggressive, that's when I get like, what'd you just say? Like I get pretty lit up. I'll get kind of angry when somebody's passive aggressive. That's cute. Pause for Andrea. Yes, Luella Manning. For now, when I have the urge to apologize, I stop myself and ask myself, what am I sorry for? Have I done anything to apologize for? That's a good way to deal with it for sure. I like that perspective. 1010, thank you for the super sticker, my friend. Yeah, Canute, passive aggressive, guys, is triggering. Yes, it's ugly, Joni. Well, I'm not passive aggressive. I've never been passive aggressive. So, Keela, I would say I'm much more assertive than passive aggressive. I can't do passive aggression, guys. That's not me. So, oh my God. Oh, Steve, you only have a few minutes. That's okay, Steve. I'm glad you're here. Don't worry about it. Steve, I'm not staying on very long. I got to go get Huxley. And also, I'll be on later, I think, with Aaron. If he's going to make the time, I think we're going to do one tonight. So I hope you're there tonight, Steve. Yeah, Cat Jack. I struggle to communicate boundaries, learning to be more respectful. I got some bad habits from my parents. Yes, understandable. And I also just want to say, in order to even set the boundaries, hey, Leah Lee, I feel like you have to have a certain amount of confidence. And I don't have a lot of confidence in a lot of situations, but I want to learn how to build that up and continue that route. Yeah, that's a great one, Lori Alexander. You're just you're leaning on your coping skills. It's hard to unlearn. What is passive aggressive? Well, let's see. Passive aggressive to me. I don't want to give the example of what happened. What do you guys think of when you think of passive aggressive? Nikia, hey Nikia. Sorry, now I'm squirrel. Are you doing one with Aaron and another? Hold on, Lori, are you doing one with Aaron and another with Hux tonight? Just planning my life. Hux is going to Boy Scouts, so no. He's at football practice now. Okay, Steve, that sucks that you're not even supposed to be there. Somebody give me a good example because I don't want to use the example I have of passive aggressive. That's a good one right there. It sounds like dishonesty. Hold on. Bison, we need to discuss conversations and have different opinions so we can learn to talk with others if that makes yes. Passive aggressive, Abraham Stuff says sounds like dishonesty. Tiff says you never know if someone is going to be nice or a jerk. Passive aggressive to you, Lori, is saying yes with an angry face. Harry Potter's beard, you don't know how to define passive aggressive. That's okay. Love it. Reese, you're doing so great. The fact that you're only recently out of the cold and you're so fluid in your communication is amazing. Well, thank you. I've always been fluid in my communication. And that's another thing. My therapist said to me this morning too, you're so used to communicating and verbalizing because being in Scientology, you're constantly under a flashlight. What did you do? What are your crimes? So that's another reason I think I'm so open, and I have no problem communicating. I just don't. Um, yeah, that's a good one, Jane. Passive aggressive, someone pretending to be nice, but with underhand or vindictive undertones. Um, hey, Courtney G, welcome. Love you too, babe. Um, let's see what Steve says. What are we doing, Bo? Oh, he has his phone. Passive aggressive, malicious compliance, doing what is asked of you exactly to the letter, but making sure it fails at the end of the day. I'm going to give you an example of what. Oh, Betsy Sue, did you get my email with my poem? I haven't checked emails, Betsy, because I've been gone all morning, but I will check it today, babe. Don't you worry. Don't worry about it. I'm going to give you an example. Something passive aggressive could be, instead of talking to me, this is an example for me. Instead of talking to someone about something directly, doing it kind of out, going around you to talk about it, like putting it on social media. Like instead of saying, "Hey, I want to talk to you about this," instead, because I've seen people do this, taking it like to Facebook and posting it about it there, and you know it's about you, but like they didn't want to do it. To me, that's also another way of being passive aggressive. Hey, Brisby Tales. Passive aggressive, Susie Phillips says, is what other people want to hear and feeling the opposite, then taking it out in spiteful ways on that person. Absolutely. Armine, I feel a lot of people who are passive aggressive are also very narcissistic. That's been my experience. I couldn't disagree with that. I actually think I never thought of that, but that's a good point. You make a very good point. But here's the problem with passive aggressive for me. People who are passive aggressive, you can't really break down the walls. You can't have a real conversation because they're already going to be passive aggressive. They're going to have this face. I'm listening. Go ahead. But it's not real. That's my issue with passive aggressive. I just want to say to the person, you're not being real with me. I can't. Did she die? Nope. I can't have a conversation because I feel like you already put a barrier up and I can't get through. Yeah, you already, Tiff, you already know what they are. Lori, I just checked, she blinked. So that's a tough, it is, Sarah, almost a form of gaslighting. Yes. Yeah, Curious Cat, nailed it. I hate passive aggressive. Some people won't be real, so a deep conversation isn't possible. Yes. Jeff says passive aggressive behavior is a way of expressing negative feelings indirectly instead of openly confronting them. It is a combination of two conflicting behaviors, being passive and being aggressive. That's so good. Raymond, that's a good point too. Some people don't know how to be direct, so you should keep in mind they may not know another way. That's true. I think there's a difference too there, Raymond. You make a good point because to me, passive aggressive is intentionally being a dick. To me, it is. Now, the people who don't know how to be direct, so they're being indirect, isn't always passive aggression to me. You can tell when a person is being indirect, but because they don't really know how to be any other way, to me, that's not so threatening. Passive aggressive to me is very threatening. I take it as I don't do well with it. If someone said trigger, it is a trigger for me. That's good, Keela. Conversational boundaries. I would rather not be a part of this conversation. Yeah. Nikia, intentionally avoiding taking action to manipulate others. That's good. That's good. Gertie is loving her life. Yep, we're talking about you. You sure are cute, but my arm's a little sore. I'm going to just reposition you if you don't mind. Let's put this down for the crowd so they can see you because you're awfully small. Look at how little she is, everybody. Look at how teeny. Oh, good Lord, girl. Did you know you were kissy? Tiny, dainty, just the daintiest little kisses. Yeah, Susie, I like that. I know. Passive aggressive is not always meant to be mean. It's a form of safety wall so you don't get in trouble. I agree with that. And I can tell, I don't know about you, but I can tell the difference. You can tell someone who's looking for a bit of a fight versus someone who's being indirect and it's not intentional to piss you off. I mean, I don't know. Maybe some people can't tell. I don't get triggered when someone is behaving that way. Um, oh man, love it. That's good. When people are passive aggressive, they want you to react so they can blame you. Yes, I find that to be true. What is it, honey buns? What is it? Are you upset about something? Yeah, Leah Lee, bless your heart, can be very passive aggressive. Raymond, you nailed that because in Scientology, that is the tone level for passive aggressive. It's a picture of the picture that you give in Scientology is a knife, a person smiling with a knife behind their back, and that's why you react that way. I've had a lot of training on it, so also that's probably why it triggers me. Um, that's a good point, Steph. Are they like this all the time? Moonage Daydream says. Uh, yeah, you have to be able to sort that out, guys. You can't just be attacking somebody or triggered because they're passive aggressive one day. And if I know the person, I often will say, "Are you all right? Like, is something going on?" The person I'm talking about, who I'm going to have to deal with in the future too, was very passive aggressive with me, and I have a hard time dealing with people at that level. Like, I don't know how to dive into it. And I don't, so my therapist and I were talking about that too. He was like, I wouldn't even validate it. I wouldn't even have a conversation with someone if you can avoid it, of course. In this situation, I'm probably not going to be able to avoid it. Um, so what's a good way to just, if someone's um, being very passive aggressive with you, what do you do? Like, do you just go, see, for me, I'm not so nice. I want to say something like, "Hey, are you all right?" But I don't mean it. I want to be like, "Is this how you think you're going to talk to me? Because we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that." Like, I just want to hit it head on. I always want to say something like that to someone. Like, I'm aware of what you're doing. You're aware of what you're doing. So let's just dive right into it and clear the air. That's what I want to say to people because people know oftentimes what they're doing. So I oftentimes want to just nail that and say, "Hey, I'm aware of what you're trying to do. So please stop doing that." But that doesn't always work. Lori Alexander, it's a trigger because that's what you dealt with for so many years. For sure. For sure. Nikki, so true. I feel a person uses passive aggressive so they can say later, "I didn't say that. Don't put words in my mouth." Oh, I can't deal with people like that. I can't deal with it. Lori, you need a chair with armrests. I put one on my damn wish list because I do need a chair with armrests. It's getting to be out of hand. I would hold them more if I had a chair with armrests. Honey, what's the matter now? Are you upset? Oh, one of your cats is bigger than Gertie. Our cat is like 2 times the size of Gertie. She's so little. Steve, it's awful to have a passive aggressive boss. You are set up to fail. That has happened to probably most of us. It's awful. And there's nothing you can do about it. That's what sucks too if they're in charge of you. That's the worst. Steve, thank you for clearing that up. Throwing a fax machine at someone, not passive aggressive, just a bully. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm trying to catch up. Yeah, Ray, you're right. Honestly, if you ask questions about what they mean, it usually scares them into not doing it again. I think you're right too. If you kind of tackle it head on, now, mind you, I don't deal with a lot of people out in the public anymore. I don't have my job. Um, so I don't deal with it, but I used to deal with it a lot. And I feel like if you kind of try to say something to, like, I honestly just want to say to them, like, "What are you doing?" That's sometimes what I want to say too. I just want to say it. "What are you doing? What do you think you're doing?" Because this isn't a normal conversation. Let's either have like, let's set some boundaries here and get real, or let's not. That's that. But see, I'm so newly out of Scientology. I don't know how to word it. I don't know what to say to people when they're being that way because they're not Scientologists anymore. I'm not dealing with Scientologists like I was. So when I deal with non-Scientologists, yeah, Keela, put up boundaries and do not engage. I agree. I agree. And so my therapist was saying that, like, why are we even engaging? Sometimes you have to. That's good, Rev girl. Wait. Yeah, I like that too, Andrea Malloy. Rev girl, I don't know how to respond to that. Okay, One True Morbs, talk later, girl. Donald, we don't like that. You know we don't. I don't like that one, Leah. Have I done something to upset you? I know that that's coming from a place of truth, but for me, I feel like just as slimy saying that. That's why I feel weird being like, "Are you okay?" Because to me, that's just passive aggressive back. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I want to match it. But for me to be like, "Have I done something to upset you?" is also kind of like, it's slimy. I don't know. I know you don't mean it that way, but that's how I feel. Yes, Michelle Norris. Dan O'Connor's sister, Kathy, was very passive aggressive when you spoke to each other on the phone. I see that now. Honey, your head is so heavy when you lean back like that. Are you upset with me because of it? Did you know that you were tiny? Yeah, curious cat. It depends on the person. Usually I call it out like you. Anything else is pointless and just taking their shit and not worth it. And it's not worth it. What is the best way though to deal with it? Because I run into it and I'm going to run into it again. I know I will. Okay, kid, you can't do this again. If you're going to get behind the computer and make a bunch of ruckus, it's too much. Amber's glass. Got it right here, girl. Right here. Amber says, be bold and say it doesn't matter to you. Yeah, Tiff, that's the goal here. You will learn to let that shit go. When will I learn that? That's, I think, what I didn't get to. I wish therapy was longer. I only have it meant for an hour. And I wish that I could learn that. Do you guys have any tips on how to let things, honey, let's not get jealous just because the cat's up here. Do you guys have any tips on how to let things, I know, we see you, let things go? Because I don't know that I'm ever going to get to that point. I'm also a Cancer sign. And then you also don't want to be so direct that you get into like an altercation with somebody. Yes, Lori, I think you're right. The person is wanting to get into it with you, but are testing the waters. Yes. Ray, you are full of wisdom. Kid, you got to get down. You're giving me anxiety. Lori, I have the office. I put 2 different chairs on my list because I was trying to go cheap and they're not cheap. So I tried. Yeah, still doable. Welcome, by the way. I don't recognize you. Call it out, Reese. You strike me as too honest a person to not call it out. Oh, hey, Ken. Here's the thing, still doable. I do want to call it out, but I also don't want to create like a big problem. I don't want to call it out. Like I want to call it out in a very real way and just go, what are you doing? Because you know what you're doing. And I'm going to need you to stop and have a real conversation with me. That could be taken to a point where someone starts flipping out. I don't want to get to that point. I don't have time for that shit. I don't do well at like somebody screaming. And you guys know that because of my background. I am not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to scream with somebody. I'm not going to fight with somebody. It's just not in me. I don't have it anymore. It's like I just gave it up. I gave up that energy and I'm just not going to bring it back. Yeah. Dingoes ate my name. Cool. I like it. Welcome. Oh, yes. Asking questions about what they mean is a good one. I missed who said it. Yeah. Like what? I guess that's true to say something like, well, can you be clearer about what you mean by that? Like, I don't know. It's also just the slimy feeling of a passive aggressive person, and it makes me just not want to talk to him in the first place. So maybe you say something like that. You could even say, I feel like you're being really passive aggressive with me, and that's kind of a trigger for me. So I'm done talking to you. What if you could say something like that? What if you don't even call him out on it and just say, I don't do well in this kind of a conversation, so I'm going to back out. What's wrong with that, by the way? I don't know that there's anything wrong with just stating how you feel or what you're comfortable or uncomfortable with. I think we're all bad at that. And it needs to be a new normal thing for me to just say, like, I know what you're doing and I don't like it. So I'm going to choose to step away now. I mean, that's not to be mean. It's just like, why don't we protect ourselves more? Why don't we fend for ourselves more? It's like we'll suit with being uncomfortable. We'll go ahead and just swallow it and be uncomfortable instead of just saying, what are you doing? I don't like what you're doing. So I'm going to step away. And I could be wrong, but I see that a lot. And I'm like, why do I throw myself down to just make it okay and comfortable for everybody? Why can't I just say this isn't comfortable for me? And until you can step up to the plate and talk to me in a non-passive aggressive way, I'm not going to have a conversation with you. And then if the person was not being passive aggressive or didn't have ill intent, then they could say, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! I think we're at a misunderstanding. I don't know. I don't know how to talk out in the world. I have to be honest, and I got to catch up." Jeff, you're right. They look for the verbal conflict. Cheryl Neal, happy Monday, my sweet Reese. Loving the hair, and you look beautiful today. Well, thank you, Cheryl. That's so nice. Happy Monday to you, and thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Ray, that's a pretty nasty thing to say. Are you angry at me? But they are. Like, that's what I mean. I don't even really want to give people the time of day sometimes. I don't want to be nice and say, that's a nasty thing to say. Are you angry at me? And that doesn't mean you're wrong, by the way. It probably means you're right. But I don't even want to give anybody that kind of wiggle room. I just want to say, that's a nasty thing to say, and I'm not going to listen to that. Bye. Lori, tell them when they're crossing a line. Yeah. I guess the reason I bring this up is the setting boundaries. How do you set healthy boundaries with people? And you have to have the confidence to be able to do it. Or someone like me who doesn't have a lot of confidence, then you let people walk all over you. And I'm not going to let that happen either. So it's a fine line, and I wonder how you deal with it. Yeah, never Fran easy. That is your opinion and you are entitled to it. I, on the other hand, am entitled to my position. Yeah, Keela, I know you do you work with this every day. Yeah, I love it. Kathy was way passive aggressive. Lori, I bet she did wink at you. She loves you. You're her grandmama. Ray, it's hard to tell where you stand with these people hard to tell where you stand with these people. You don't know if they hate you, if you have done anything, and never fix it because they are too busy pretending. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Gertie is a little Wookie. Are you taking a little nap? Did you know that everybody loves you in this world? Did you know that you've never once made a mistake in this land? Did you know that? Did you know that you've won every single award in every show you've ever been in? That's what we tell her. You've won every single award and you've never once in your life made a mistake. Did you know that? Because you were born with Christ. I like that, Susie. You do you, Reese. Be direct. If they're important in your life, they will adjust. If they don't matter, then it doesn't matter. I get it. And I agree. And guys, I just wonder, it's so weird sometimes to fit in. I feel like I was driving home from therapy and I was like thinking about all of you guys. And I was like, I just don't feel like I have to fit in with you guys because you're so accepting of me. And that's what I was saying the other day on my live. The biggest thing I'm shocked about coming out of Scientology is how accepting everybody is and understanding and gives grace and generous and love and support because I didn't expect all of that. And so here I don't feel that way, but in the world, I feel all the time like I'm trying to fit in. Because people are different out here than they are in Scientology. It's a big shift, it's a big change to be out here fitting in versus in a church where I that's all I've lived. Yeah, Robin, letting go is hard. It takes a lot of practice. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to let go. I've seen just a comment just now. I've tried journaling. I have tried. I've written down a little bit. I need to start writing because I want to write my book. Yeah, Keela, it takes time. It's something we work on every day because we are all human. Yeah, to call it out, Jeff, is to validate it. You give worth to the passive aggressive person. I like that, love it. The passive aggressiveness isn't about you. They live in that zone. That's true. And the other thing I said in therapy this morning, passive aggressive people that to add on to that, love it, they're baiting you. I often feel when someone is truly being passive aggressive in a really disgruntled manner, they're baiting you. They're trying to get you to take that bait. And so I agree with that. Like what Jeff said too, like acknowledging it would only put a feather in their cap, right? Like so I don't know. It's weird because I want to acknowledge it. That's the first thing I want to do when someone behaves that way. I want to nail it and go, "What are you doing? Mhm. What are you doing? Like, stop. You may do that with other people. Don't do that with me. I don't like it. Just be yourself or learn to get you to know yourself." To me, it's a cover up. It's like you don't know yourself very well if that's how you have to treat people that you don't even know. Like if I mean, you guys have met people who are saying super passive aggressive things and they're rude and you don't even know them. It's like, ugh, like how do you do in your own head? You don't know yourself. Get to know yourself and then you'll know what you like and don't like. And you don't feel like you have to have a wall up and treat people that way. That's not cool. Thank you, Tammy. Tammy Vanderveen. You're looking stunning, Reese. Thank you. Yeah, I think you guys are onto something. No, I would never say put your manners back in. Well, let me ask you this because I'm seeing a lot of comments saying just leave or step away. What if it's somebody you have to work with? Like, there are some scenarios where you can't step away. Sure, it's cool to do it at Whole Foods if somebody's, well, all right. If somebody's, that's silly. Let's not be silly. If it's a total stranger, but if it's not, what if it's somebody you have to work with? You can't just leave. We know. We see you. I'm skipping through a bunch of comments, you guys, because I'm really behind. So I'm sorry, I'm going to miss a bunch of them. And honestly, I feel like yesterday I was close to passive aggressive, which is weird for me. I'm not usually passive aggressive. I started Shark Week yesterday. Remember how I told you guys I was going to start today? I started yesterday. And that's why I didn't do a live yesterday. I was in a lot of pain yesterday. Today's pretty good. I took one Advil this morning before therapy and I'm fine. So today we're good. But I remember yesterday I was sitting there with Jeff and I was like, I was like, Jeff. I was like, you don't even care about me. I was like, no one even cares except Gertie. And he was like, I care. And I was like, but you don't care. I was like, you don't even show me that you care. And he was like, well, how can I show you I care? And I was like, I want a long john with chocolate on top and some Bavarian cream inside. And I was like, if you don't get that, then you don't care. So I get it. I was being passive aggressive yesterday. Now I didn't send Jeff to get donuts. I only want donuts like twice a year. It was so weird. I wanted a donut yesterday. So instead I settled and ate a half a pint of ice cream. But I guess my point is I get it. I was being a little bit passive aggressive with Jeff yesterday. And I felt really needy and ignored. And it was weird. I was like, you don't do anything. I was like, I've been asking you to put the table behind me. Notice that's new. I was like, I've been asking you to put this together for a month. And I was like, nobody does anything around here for me ever. It was really ridiculous. But when I'm in pain like that, if, like when I have a really bad migraine, I do the same thing. I'm like, nobody cares. No one in this house cares about me. I was like, if you really cared, you'd make mac and cheese and you wouldn't ask questions and you wouldn't ask me what kind I like because you would know. I just get like really weird and needy. It's bizarre. Like ask Jeff. It's weird as shit. I get weird when I'm in pain. Like nobody should be around me. Where did we go with that? Where did that come from? Oh, because I was being passive aggressive. Um, yeah, Downton Abbey. I like that. To a coworker's boss, explain that in a different way. Or what is the purpose of what we are talking about? Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, Cindy Funk. That's your favorite donut. I don't eat donuts because they are so bad. Like we're diabetic. And then I'm look at me. I'm like we're diabetic. So instead, I ate a half a pint of Haagen Dazs chocolate chip cookie dough. That's what I ate at like 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. By the way, that was the weird thing, you guys. That was weird. I don't eat. I haven't. It's 4 o'clock. I haven't eaten a bite of food yet today. I've had nothing to eat. I've had a little bit of water. That's not uncommon for me. Yesterday morning, I was stomping around the house and I was like, I was like, Jeff, I was like, I want some spaghetti and a donut. I was like, do it now. And usually on my period, I don't eat. So it was weird that I was like craving things. When I have super bad cramps like that, I don't want to eat. Um, yeah. Oh, whiny is different from passive aggressive, I guess. But I was being mean. I felt like I was like, Jeff, you don't care about anything. I was like, you don't care about me at all. And if you did, I was like, you would get in the car right now and you would get a box of fucking donuts. And he was like, well, there's a Dunkin' Donuts. I was like, no. I was like, I'm not going to eat that shit. I was like, I don't want fast food donuts. I want like a little tiny mom and pop place where the grandma hand makes them. Like, find one in Kansas City and do it now. So yeah, that was horrible. I felt bad for Jeff. He was like, I'll get in the car and go. I know that was the mean part too. He was like, okay, honey. And he was like looking up donut places and he was like, I'll get in the car and go. I was like, no. I was like, you can stay right here. Thank you. Why are you going to leave me? I was like, now you want to leave? Oh my God. I only did it yesterday morning, you guys. I softened up and got nicer. Oh God, that was awful. Poor Jeff. The only reason though I do want to say that he was like, I'll get in the car and go get them is because he wanted donuts. If it would have been something he didn't want, he wouldn't have done it. I guarantee you. Yeah, I ate a fucking half a pint of ice cream yesterday morning at like 10 o'clock. That's so weird for me. I don't do that. It was sad. Jeff does need an award, Luella Manning. Can you do something about that and send one to our PO box? I know, Jane. I'm being honest, you guys. I felt bad for him. I felt bad. Um, Rhonda, I haven't tried Donutology in Westport, but right by there is one of my favorite Mexican places, Rudy's. I should try that. I should try Donutology. I've driven by it, just never been there. Yeah, it was Shark Week, Nessa. It was Shark Week. It is Shark Week. Um, it was bad. Who have a wish list? Luella. Jeff? No, not really. I don't think he does. I can ask him if there's anything on that I should add to the wish list because I have stuff on there for Huxley. Um, yeah, guys, I know. I felt bad about it. Oh yeah, try Rudy's. That's Jeff's favorite Mexican food. My favorite, I think we ate there the other day was Manny's. I love Manny's. And Jeff said my favorite is Rudy's. So it's a close second for me, Rudy's. I love Rudy's. I don't eat a lot of meat, but their barbacoa and nachos are so good. But my favorite thing are just cheese and onion enchiladas. And I told Jeff that yesterday too. I was like, Jeff, when we ate at Manny's, I was like, you can cancel that out. I need to go back. I was like, it doesn't count that we went because I was starting my period and I didn't know. And I wasn't like feeling great. So I didn't eat a lot. I didn't know it was my period. And he was like, okay. I know. I feel bad. Poor Jeff. Thank you, Ty Mark, and welcome. Yeah. Um, yeah, Mexican food sounds good right now, doesn't it? Wonder if we could get some. What time is it? I got to go pretty soon. I have to go get Huxley like in like 10 minutes. So we're going to have to cut this short. Usually it's short. It's an hour. Usually we do a little over an hour though lately. Oh, honey. Um so I wanted to touch on that today. I wanted to see what you guys think about that and just how to deal with it best. And also not even so much passive aggression, but setting boundaries and setting boundaries to where yeah, Steve, thank you for noting. We're in the open book phase. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Steve, what are you still doing here, by the way? I thought you only had like a minute. I love that you stayed for us. But I really wanted to talk about boundaries and love you, Jeff. What's a good, I want you guys to be thinking about this some more because we're going to talk about it some more. Just what is good, what is not good, and what's healthy. And I'm going to continue this in therapy, obviously. Um, and some things you have to live with, and some people you don't. Um, that's all. I feel like I'm rambling, but I know what I'm thinking in my head. For some reason, it's hard for me to get it out. James Orobono, I've never seen your name before. Welcome, James. Be you and know, be you and you know what is right for you and set it in stone. Remember, martial artists will never step back to adjust their position. They will always step to the side. Well, no, I actually don't remember that. I didn't know that. A martial artist will always never step back to adjust their position. They will always step to the side. That's interesting. I didn't know that. James, thank you for that tidbit, but also thank you for the super chat, my friend, and welcome. Yeah, Moonage Daydream, there is no magic solution. Just have to manage on a case by case basis. Different people respond differently. I get that, and you're right. Nat B from Canada, homework. Now I'm going to be thinking all night. Yeah, guys, just don't stay up about it, Nat B. But you know what I mean. Rotten Ralph, I haven't seen you in a long time. Reese, I'm late. Boundaries are something that you set with yourself for yourself. You don't have to take anything personally. That is good. That is true. That's a good point. That's where I want to get to. That's what I want to climb to right there, Rat and Ralph. That is very profound for me. You set for yourself. You don't have to take the boundaries are that, guys. And I have a hard time because I take everything personally. I absorb everything. I walk away going, did they mean it like that? Or should I have said it like that? Not every time. Usually I jive with most people I talk to, but sometimes I'll introvert and I'm like, should I have said it like that? I hope that person didn't take it the wrong way. So that's what I mean. It's to spin off of that. I want to get comfortable enough with myself that I just walk away going, oh, well, you know, if they took it the wrong way, hopefully they would have said something. So I'm going to assume they didn't. I don't know, but I want to get comfortable with myself and I'm not comfortable with myself yet. Hey, Lori Plantamiro, welcome. Luella, I'm sure there's a lot of advice on YouTube to set boundaries in the search bar. I don't use, stop what, Steve? I don't use YouTube that much as I used to. I used to watch YouTube for a lot of fashion type stuff and like what's coming up for fall and how to get some ideas. Like I told you, I love Trini London. I follow her so that we can get some ideas on how to pair certain things. I don't need to get into that. I don't use YouTube as often anymore, though. I just don't. Um, yeah, I love it. I need to get as comfortable as Gertie, as myself as Gertie. Yes, ma'am. I love how your paws smell like a hamster cage in a good way. Steve Britton, step one, get comfortable with not being comfortable. Yeah. Okay. Downton Abbey, I think it's about building self worth first. Define what that looks like to you. I decided about a year ago that I interact with the best of intentions with others. Success is when I hold myself to. Yes, I like that too, Downton Abbey. Your dad, Sarah Wynn, had a huge hand in how you take things personally. You're definitely on the right track overcoming that. Remember not to let someone or something in your past continue to have control over you. That's a good thing to remember, but I have a hard time detaching to let it go. That's where I have trouble. Thank you, Josie Miller. Glad you were here. Blow drill. Yes, good point. Not being taught healthy boundaries in Scientology does make it harder to navigate the real world. Being cognizant of it is a great and healthy way to heal. Yes, I agree with you on that 100%. Just being cognizant of things, staying aware and in the moment can help with that as well. Thank you, Sarah. When you're working on it, and that is key. We're all working on it. I think it's an ongoing thing. And you guys, I appreciate you so much for listening. Sorry, today wasn't like full of excitement, but I wanted to talk about that. I knew it would be a good thing because I'd get your guys' feedback, and I love doing these chats because of I really, really like your perspective on things, and hers too. Clearly, she brings a lot to the table. Oh, that's a good point, Nat B from Canada. Let me ask you, Reese, do you think you are better with boundaries now comparing to 6 months ago? If the answer is yes, you are making progress. Yes, 100%. That's a good point. And you're right. I tend to, okay, Steve, bye. I tend to, I don't know where I was going with that because I got thrown off by Steve. But oh no, as I say, I tend to like I want something right now. I want the instant gratification of something. But you're right. 6 months has gone by, and I am better now than I was. Thank you, Rhonda. Lori, it is free therapy for us all. I agree. It's wonderful, isn't it? I don't love Shelley's and Waldo One Tough Chick. It's okay. I've had it. I tried it once because it was famous and on that show. It's all right. I thought it was just okay. Can we get a permanent Gertie cam? Yeah, we should get right on that. I think that's a good idea. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off. I got to go get Huxley. And then don't forget, I should be back on tonight with Aaron. He wants to do a live tonight. I don't know if it'll work out, but I'm guessing it will because he was pretty adamant about it. He was like, no, I want to do it tonight. Because I said, we can do it tomorrow. He was like, no, I want to do it tonight. I was like, okay, all right. Thank you for listening, everyone. And again, I don't feel like today was as fun or funny, but thank you for hanging in there with me. Moonage Daydream, I'm going to do the outro. And everybody watch Fred now. So I will be back hopefully tonight. Lori, you're right. I'm not forgetting. Let's see. I go to banners. Nope. I go to brand. Intro. Outro Fred. Here it is. Okay. I'm signing off. You guys watch this. It's amazing. Love you guys. Bye.